But along the way, I rediscovered my passion in something else. So you find that balancing these particular skills to the jobs I want sometimes becomes very tricky. And for that particular case, you realize that when you're presenting yourself outside there, what kind of skills are you supposed to present? Because I've seen this with so many people, whereby when they get to an interview, when you give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, they'll be like, my name is so and so. I'm a graduate of maybe Bachelor of Public Health and something, but with experience in customer service. So you realize that for you to perform in the today's job market, there are some specific skills that are a must have for you, especially if you want to excel in this particular skill. They are non-negotiable skills. And these are some of the things that we are going to see in today's session if you are gearing towards getting remote job, because the legacy kind of employment is, how do I say it? The legacy kind of employment is being phased out slowly by slowly. And then when you realize your 8 to 5 job cannot sustain, maybe your living cannot sustain your base, and then you need something to supplement. And for you to get these specific jobs, you realize that you'll need to invest in skill set that will position you to get these specific skills. So that is the reason as to why I did this. So for that specific reason, I would want to know from Elvis, which digital skills do you predict will be non-negotiable for remote work in 2025 and beyond? And maybe you can elaborate and give us the reason as to why you think so.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. Digital skills that are non-negotiable in 2025. I think I'll start with the first one, artificial intelligence. And not understanding how to create artificial intelligence systems, but understanding how to use AI itself. Right now, there are careers that have really come up, careers like generative AI specialists. Yeah. I normally use AI to generate my voice. I use AI to generate audio. I use AI to generate images. I use AI to generate blog posts. I use AI to generate social media posts. Generative AI is probably something that is coming up so fast. So AI is a non-negotiable for anyone today. You need to understand how to utilize and use AI tools at this day and age. If you can go further and understand how to create AI systems, the better. But artificial intelligence is probably one of the best skills that you can actually master today, not only for your job, but also for what you can do on the side. Skill number 2 is web design. Now, some of these skills, people don't like them because they think they are shallow, they don't have the titles. Because so many people run for skills like machine learning, they run to get to learn skills like cybersecurity. But people forget that any skill you learn has to be applicable anywhere. Like you can apply that skill. Now, like I was in a church setting the other day and I was telling a guy, yeah, you've said you want to go and learn data science and all this. When you learn data science, can you bring the same thing to church, yeah, and provide your services locally? Well, it's a problem. Data science happens to be a high income skill, but it's hard for you to monetize it because not so many people understand the science behind data. But if you look at a skill like web design is a skill that allows you to understand how to create websites. I believe even you, Kevin, would actually need a website, right? Any single person over here can actually need a website. So you see, there's the high income skill about it is that it is something that you can highly monetize across various sectors. People need websites, businesses need websites, schools need websites. Like even if you even walked to a hotel or you even walked to a nyanyama choma guy, he might tell you what mimi nitengeneze website. You get? That is web design. You need to understand how to use tools like WordPress, Webflow, very, very important. Another skill that I tend to think people really underestimate is digital marketing. Now, on LinkedIn, I see so many digital marketers, very many of them. I'm a digital marketer in this, I do this. But honestly, if you want to understand like so many skills at one time, go learn digital marketing. For us, like for me, I run an agency called Terra Creations. And what you're trying to do right now is to focus on website management and search engine optimization, which are part of digital marketing. The moment you go ahead and take us like the chance to learn a skill like digital marketing, you get the web design skill stack. You're able to get graphic design. You're able to understand video editing. You're also able to understand content creation. social media management, social media marketing. Like it's a whole thing. You can even learn performance marketing. You're going to learn search engine optimization, search engine marketing. Like digital marketing is basically a skill that allows you to learn so many things at the same time that you can actually get to apply locally and even apply to other places. Now, we also have other skills that people really need to understand: automation and email marketing. There are various automation tools that people probably have never heard of. Recently, I was mentioning something called Zapier, and guys was like, "What is Zapier?" Yeah, automation. Like right now, if have you ever gone to a website and probably just been told sign up to my newsletter, and the moment you sign up to a newsletter, you receive a certain email immediately. That's automation at work, and we are slowly heading to a level where you can find someone running $1 million business with only like 2 or 3 employees and has like 50 automation tools to make everything seamless. So it's important for people to understand how to use automation tools. There's so many. There's a lady I normally see on LinkedIn. Yeah. She's always posting about automation, automation, automation. People also need to get to understand email marketing, understand how to configure and use email marketing platforms like MailChimp, understand how to use tools like Brevo, because companies, businesses, individuals, they're always looking for people who understand how to actually market directly to people and build newsletters. LinkedIn normally has a newsletter, I believe, but if you want to go further, understand email marketing. Now, there's so many skills that I can actually get to mention, but I'll also mention this. In 2025, I think it's important for people to understand personal branding and storytelling. Personal branding and storytelling. So many people don't understand the concept behind personal branding. Personal branding is your online persona, who you are, and people. How can people actually get to understand and relate with you? They understand and relate with you by you sharing information in a way that people can get to grasp and relate with. The whole example would be storytelling. For me, I try to bring in the approach of storytelling in my LinkedIn posts. And this has worked for me because I started posting consistently on LinkedIn in August 2023. That is when I started this particular LinkedIn profile. And within a period of like less than 18 months, I've been able to garner over 91,000 followers by just you being very authentic with your personal brand and getting to share value and understanding the elements of personal branding that set you apart. Well, I can mention other skills like understanding cybersecurity. You need to get into web development. Video editing is also one of the most important skills that you can probably learn. Video editing, because as you can see, nowadays video is the fastest and the rawest form of communication that you can find on the internet. Yeah. So
Yes.
those are just quite a number of skills. Yeah.
I think I want to add something to what you've just said. Regardless of the area of operation, the area of expertise that you have, the another three must-have digital skill, not remote skills that you need to invest in is data analytics, data management, just like you've mentioned. Be it that you're an accountant, you are accountant, whatever role that you're dealing with, you have to know how to utilize data. And if you've been applying for these positions online, you'll see that each and every post that you're applying to will ask you for the data analytics management. I'm not saying that you go deep into it, but you can at least know how to handle data, from data collection to data cleaning to data management. Just get to learn something about how data, like you realize if you're an accountant, you'll be dealing with data. In customer service, you'll be dealing with data. So each and every employer there will be looking for someone to help them clean this data, to help them also in the decision-making process. The second one is project management. And when I talk about project management, you see people take project management as a career, but each and everyone, especially if you're working remotely, you need to know how to handle projects. And this can start from maybe your family activities at home. You've been put in charge to do something. How do you do it? For instance, do you use these collaborative tools? We have things like Asana, we have things like Trello, we have things like, there are so many platforms whereby at least you can be streamlining processes. So you need to know something about data management from executing, planning, and also evaluating this. Because if you're working remotely, there's no way that you'll be reporting in any office from Monday to Friday. So the only thing that you'll need is You'll have a platform, either the ones that I've mentioned or a specific related, depending on the organization, to help you do that. And then now the third skill is customer service. We tend to assume that accountants are not customer service. Each and every in everything that you do, you have to deal with the clients. And if you're dealing with the clients, you need to master these soft skills, such as the communication skills, the problem solving skills, among other skills. But data management, artificial intelligence, and project management, those three skills are non-negotiable, plus the ones that Elvis has mentioned. Because you realize for you to build a personal brand, you have to position yourself out there. And it's most of us, you realize that we sit on our gold mine. What do I mean by this? Is whereby you are still relying on your CV to open doors for you, but you need to build a personal brand. But for you to succeed in this, at least you need to know things like storytelling, you need to know things like digital marketing, you need to know things like AI automation. Some people are camera shy. Just maybe by subscribing, of which something we are going to know, maybe from Elvis, maybe from subscribing to this particular platform, you can generate your own images to use on LinkedIn to aid and bring about that personal branding aspect. So if after this meeting you go and invest, just get to learn about these tools. And this brings me to my second question. How can someone with little or no background in tech transition into remote digital career?
Okay, that's a very, very interesting question, honestly, because you'll even find 50-year-olds who want to actually get into tech. But for me, I think I tend to believe that just tech is just a name. Yeah, tech is just a name. Now, I had written something down, but if you really want to transition into tech, especially you want to work remotely, you want to get into freelancing, I think some of the things you need to first start with, and this is probably the most ignored part. People mostly focus on the hard part, the hard skills, and you forget the soft skills. Start already with some of these soft skills, communication skills, all right? Can you understand how to manage your time? Time management is something people are actually taught nowadays. Yeah. Are you able to be creative? Can you actually engage in critical thinking? Are you someone who can solve a problem? Like, because, if you think about remote work and freelancing, what you're doing is that you're solving problems for other people with the skills that you have. Yeah. That's the thing. A number of people don't understand that remote work or working on a freelance basis is not you doing a job, you are solving problems with what you know how to do. So if you know how to create websites, someone has contracted you to create a website for them to solve their current existent issue, which is a website problem. So, an example of soft skills that people really ignore, number one, is writing a clear email. You can't start freelancing if you can't even write an email. Like, you can't craft a proper email, which is a problem up to date. You find someone who is actually working, has been working for the past 15 years, but they cannot be able to craft a proper email. So how will you do pitches if you can't craft a proper email? Number two, can you stay organized? Number three, can you express yourself confidently? Because honestly, clients don't want to work with someone who is not confident. Yeah. And you see, people like to label themselves as introverts. They like to call themselves, oh, I don't like to, I'm camera shy. Let me tell you, being broke will make you not become camera shy, honestly. You will find yourself shooting those videos you never wanted to shoot. Yeah. And again, can you be able to solve problems? Like, honestly, this is probably one of the reasons as to why people think that freelancing is like an easy thing, remote work, and tech is an easy thing. It's not an easy thing because you're solving problems. Like, you see, if Kelvin had an issue with a website, he's going to come to me and tell me, Elvis, create a website for me. So now your problem becomes my problem. Yeah. So can I solve your problem? Now, if I solve your problem, you're going to be like, okay, how much for the problem? 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Fine. That's okay. Yeah. Problem solving is very, very important. Then, number two, if you want to get started in tech, especially if you're not a techie, start by learning for free or use affordable resources. Here's what I mean by using affordable resources. People really ignore YouTube. YouTube is probably the platform you can really get a lot of information for free. Let's say you want to understand data science, data analysis. Go get started on YouTube. That is the perfect place for you to get the information you're looking for. You can as well move on to platforms like Udemy, where you can buy affordable courses that teach you something that makes sense. Yeah. I happen not to be an advocate of institutions nowadays. I don't advocate for institutions because I think, I'm sorry to say this, but I tend to think people go to school to learn some silly things you can learn on YouTube, like social media management. What is social media management? You don't need to go to a school to learn for 12 months or 15 months to learn social media management. So, what you need to understand is social media management. Now, 70% of the curriculum you're going to find in institutions happens to be very theoretical. And the world that we're living in today doesn't rely on theoretical things. To maybe put it in perspective, is you go to learn the fundamentals, the merits, demerits. The important thing is the practical aspect. So start with free platforms. You can use Udemy, you can use YouTube. They're very, very good platforms to get started with. Then I normally have a 4-step framework when it comes to skills, when it comes to you learning skills. The thing is this: pick one skill. It's pick one skill, something that you probably are interested in, or something that has a clear market. Now, people just go and learn something because you think it has money. And then you come to the market and you're shocked. Hey, it's not working. Pick one thing, like an example of skills that are actually in high demand: video editing, web design, virtual assistant, social media management, graphic design, content writing, copywriting. So many of them, search engine optimization. Step number 2 in my 4-step framework is this: learn intentionally. Don't just go and watch tutorials and spend 5 hours just watching a tutorial like this. Yeah. Create your own projects. If you're learning web design, if it's that Mhindi guy who is talking about, create these Raju guys you find on YouTube saying, welcome to my YouTube tutorial. Like, follow. As they are creating something, you create it with them. Now, apparently, most people think that you're looking at a teacher. In primary school and high school, we were so used to looking at our geography teachers just writing things on the blackboard and we're just saying, we understand. Yeah. Learn intentionally. Number 3 is build a portfolio. The only way for you to stay relevant in today's world, all right? The only way for you to stay relevant in today's world is if you have the proof that shows that you can do something. Now, most guys think that when you learn a skill, you stop it at that. No. You create something that says, hey, by the way, mimi hufanya hivi, I do this. So create a portfolio, yeah? And the portfolio needs to have sample projects, testimonials, a short bio, and contact information. It's not something complicated. You can use tools like Canva and Notion to create a portfolio. You can even create a portfolio with something as simple as Google Docs. Yeah. Step number 4 is pitching. After you've created your portfolio, you start pitching. You go on LinkedIn and you start pitching your services to clients. You can create, like, for example, let's say you learned a skill like web design. You can go and tell Kelvin, by the way, I've seen you don't have a website. So what I did is I created something very simple for you. Kelvin, have a look at this. If you think it's something that we can actually do, we can always get into a call. And then when you pitch, this is where most people get it wrong. You think it's all about the money. I remember I used to work for the money and I realized it was vanity because you're always going to be struggling to get clients. The thing about freelancing is that you need to focus on building your network. If you can create a website for Kelvin for free, all right, I can be very sure that if you deliver a proper job, Kelvin is going to be like, hey, there's this dude called Elvis. He created a website for me. This is what he did. And I'm pretty sure that I've already sparked something. You're now part of my network. But now most people think that freelancing is chasing a quick buck. Yeah, you create a website for Kelvin and then you move on to Diana. You move on to Dennis. You move on to Joyce. You move on to William. No, it's about building a network in a way that people can get to remember you. Such that now, like if someone thinks about digital marketing, they're going to be like, hey, there's this dude who helped me with this digital marketing strategy, and he actually sent it to me for free. Yeah? People don't want to give their services for free. And remember, the thing is, as you pitch your services so that you can also get to have prospective clients who you can also learn from. You can create a website, and the moment you're done with the website, the guy tells you, I'm really happy with what you've done. By any chance, do you think you can actually help me with content creation? That's already another gig. Yeah. Like if you also want to learn, if you want to hone your skill very well, hone it by doing it. You cannot be sitting down with your skills, like saying you're always on LinkedIn complaining that there are no jobs, there are no jobs. Yet LinkedIn has over 1 billion people that you can send emails to and tell them that these are the services I can get to provide. So that is my 4-step framework. But the most important thing is pitching, yeah? And at the same time, learning intentionally. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kindly mute. If you've joined you, I'm kindly asking you to mute so that you don't interrupt other people in the background. You see the skills that Elvis just mentioned. So many people ask me, how can I survive as a virtual assistant? And you see, when someone calls you in as a VA, they expect you to know these particular things. When it comes to automation, when it comes to learning like social media management, calendar management. So these are some of the skills that a few that he's just mentioned that can help you excel in tech roles. It can help you excel in building your personal brand, and also if you're interested in the VA opportunities, because everyone is looking for a VA, and you realize that they might not have the budget to have an on-site kind of an employee, so they might need someone with practical experience just like you. Elvis, one question has come, like you have amazing pictures on your platform from Facebook, LinkedIn. People are wondering, what AI tools are you using to take these pictures? These are for people who might not have the budget to visit photo shoot each and every on a weekly basis. So can you share with us, how do you generate your image, and what advice, what are some of the things you can train whoever is listening here when they're looking for these images for them to create professional headshots? Yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to share my screen. Let me just share my screen.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I think I've gotten that question several. Can you guys see? Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah, okay.
And I
So,
think I need to put a pay bill somewhere so that people can pay for this free information.
oh,
Please proceed.
actually, actually, for anyone who wants to learn everything about AI itself, we have a masterclass coming up next week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's an AI productivity weekend sprint. It allows you to understand how to use AI. Yeah. So maybe to get you started, I think so many graphic designers here understand a tool called Freepik. Freepik is a website where you go and get so many things. Like you can get videos, images. Like for example, if I was looking for an image of a, busy professional, I can easily get it on Freepik. I have used Freepik now for over it's like 9 years. So this is basically what I get to use. So Freepik recently introduced AI image generation as well as video creation. Okay. So the image generator is what I use to generate my images. Like I was actually trying out something today. I was experimenting something today, creating a few images. Like these have been generated using Freepik, right? But the thing about your prompt itself, the thing about your the Freepik itself is that you need to be very specific about your prompt. So ChatGPT, I think, is like a household name nowadays. Yeah, I think so many people need to understand how to use ChatGPT. Like an example is I normally have this chat where I can come and say that I want to like I need it to help me generate a prompt to create such an image. Like I can say, help me. I need a prompt that shows Elvis working in an office. We can even say something. The office has a zebra walking in it and a lion eating grass. Like something very interesting. The image shows, we can say something like some satire or humor, shows some satire. So now ChatGPT is going to understand what you want and is going to generate a prompt for you. So after it generates the prompt for you, you're going to take the prompt and then you're going to come to Freepik. So I'm going to click on create over here and I can come and select my character. I normally have a few images I've trained over here. You need to first train the AI. You need to give it a few images. So I can come, let me just come and get this. Where is that prompt? Is my screen still visible?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I'm going to come and copy this. And then I'm going to just come and drop it over here and then click on generate. So it it allows you use two AI tools basically to come up with, like, one gives you a prompt and the other one gives you, like, this is the image now.
Oh, it looks real.
Yeah, like I'm working in an office. This is a lion, this is a zebra, you see? Like this is another one. You can see like these are images you can easily generate using AI. And you see, they are very powerful because you post them on LinkedIn. You can even, like, for example, I can even probably say, let's say I want to be, like, I need an image of Elvis. I need an image of Elvis riding, uh, let me say something like a rhino. You see, these are things that no one could actually do, but with AI, you are able to create that. Yeah. So it's going to give you like a prompt that you can get to use. So this is my prompt. You can come and just copy it. And I will just drop it over here. And then I will generate the image. So the AI itself is FreePic. You can see FreePic AI suite. You can generate quite a number of things with it. You can generate videos. You can generate images. I use it for images. I have generated so many images with it. And as you can see, this is the image it has generated. Elvis riding a rhino. So you need to be very specific about your prompt. AI happens to be work like this. Your prompt is going to be, the quality of your prompt is actually going to be equal to the quality of your output. So you need to give it a very, very good prompt. I hope I've answered your question now.
The question is well answered. And please, for that free tip, you guys have to pay something for for that. Okay, that is amazing, Elvis. So, what are some of the practical ways to stand out to international employers when applying for remote roles?
I think right now he's having the perfect LinkedIn profile. The perfect LinkedIn profile. And I happen to think that so many people underestimate LinkedIn. They do. People underestimate LinkedIn. And I used to be like the same person. I used to wonder, why do I need to be in a platform where everyone is always saying they have been promoted to the next job? They have now gotten a new job as the data protection officer in a warehouse in don't know. I mean, there used to be so many things. There used to be so many things I used to see on LinkedIn that I never used to like. But I remember one day I used to ask myself, like, I'm not getting quality clients on TikTok. I'm not getting quality clients on Facebook. I'm not getting quality clients on Instagram. And then I look at LinkedIn and I'm looking at guys, people, like, I remember I used to only have like 98 followers. I think 32 actually in that account. I used to have 32. In August 2023, I had 32 followers in the account. And people used to DM me and ask me, Elvis, by the way, we see you talking on TikTok. We never knew that you were on LinkedIn. And it really got me by surprise that I was like, hey, okay, I think I need to get on LinkedIn and be very serious about it. So I got Muthoni. Muthoni was the one who was able to help me with my LinkedIn profile. And I kickstarted it. And from there, it was like a whole story. So I think you need to have like that LinkedIn profile that people can actually can actually open up and be like, hey, this guy actually knows their work. A LinkedIn profile is probably one of the most important things that you need to really consider. And you need to make sure that it's so good. Number two is having a powerful website. A powerful website. People underestimate the importance of a powerful website. A powerful website is going to set you apart. A website that not only talks about you, but also has evidence of what you do. And it is not only a website, but it's something that communicates. When you create a website, you need to be adding content into it. The content you add into a blog is articles and the content that you add into a website is articles and blogs. So that's how you make sure that you maintain like that ability to attract international clients. And then you need to start posting regularly, like share thought leadership and like just share. If you're in SEO, just talk about SEO, but you're not limited from talking about something else. So many people think that if you have a social media profile, If you're a pastor, you should always be preaching on those social media platforms. No, people also want to relate with you as a person. They want to know, who is this dude? Who is this guy? Who is this lady? Yeah. Kwani this person doesn't go to work, the hafungi yangu nyumba, you know. And that's where the mantra of social media is actually quite distorted, because people think that you should only be seeking glorification on social media, where it has to be very perfect. Yeah. Post things about yourself, share thought leadership posts, like talk about something about websites. That's how you position yourself. And then I think if you're really looking at attracting international clients, you have to stop thinking local. You know, people like I honestly tell people, like on on Facebook and platforms like LinkedIn, like you need to stop thinking with the same ideologies that people have locally, where people say that just post 2 or 3 times on LinkedIn. Yeah. On LinkedIn, I post 6 to 7 times per day. On Facebook, I post like between 3 to 25 times per day. TikTok, 3 to 10 times per day. Instagram, same case. That's the mantra behind all this, is that people think that just just post from time to time. Now, most clients want to buy into a consistent person. Yeah. You meet someone, you want to pitch your services to a client, but the last time you posted on LinkedIn was probably like 4 weeks ago. And this client is going to be like, hey, in as much as you're good in this consistency level of yours, I'm not very sure you're going to deliver the job. Like if you're a social media manager, you can't be pitching social media management services, yet your social media pages, the last time you posted was like 2019. Yeah. So that level of, something, I think people also need exposure, because I've really been exposed to these clients, and you realize that some of these guys don't joke. Someone is going to come and tell you, how much are you going to charge for website management and content strategy for a full month? I need 120 blogs every month. So listen, 120 blogs every month, it's like you're doing 4 per day. You're used to probably doing 2. Now you need to also understand the level of business and how these guys actually get to operate. So, but mostly LinkedIn profile, a very good website that showcases your portfolio. That would be very good for you.
You see, I want to stop there. As someone is asking Elvis, how do you insert your image into free pick? But before we get to that, there's something I want to talk about when it comes to LinkedIn. Most of us underestimate the power of LinkedIn in a job search. Yet a few months ago, I was having a conversation whereby someone had invested on someone else to get a job. And I was like telling this person, you need to organize your profile on LinkedIn and showcase what you can do. And the person was like, no, people get jobs through application. You cannot get a job through a LinkedIn. This is a very learned person, so I didn't want to argue. And then I told the person they were right. When it comes to LinkedIn, you see, this is a personal story. In the year, I think also I also get to LinkedIn around 2022. That's when I started working on my LinkedIn seriously. By 2022, I think I had around 9K followers. And these were people that I used to refill each and every week. When like send maybe connection, 250 connections every week. So it got to some extent I was posting on LinkedIn and I wasn't seeing results. And I was like, this platform is for beautiful ladies, because it was very difficult for a lady to post an image and not attract 50 to around maybe 100 or even 400 with lots of comments. And then I said, this platform is not for me. And then now the high standards that were being raised on that particular platform and very heavy titles, I decided that this was going to be a platform for myself until I discovered the power of LinkedIn. And this is what I tell most people that I caught. In this particular case, you realize that when you go on LinkedIn, people viewing your profile is like the interviewing panel. They are there to see what is your competitive advantage? What exactly can you do? What do you bring on the table and such like stuff? So you realize that the way you present yourself in that particular platform will clearly outline whether you get these opportunities or not. I see people revamping their profiles and then leaving it there. And then when you say, let's comment onto other people's platforms, they'll be like, absolutely amazing. This is fabulous. Thank you for sharing. It doesn't give you an opportunity. It's like attending an interview and then someone asks you, can you tell us something interesting about you? And then you go, That is absolutely amazing. So utilizing the power of commenting, utilizing the power of creating utilizing the power of creating a profile that you'd like people to see. You see, in most cases, when we go for interviews, we tend to explain, we tend to position ourselves as expert. But when it comes to LinkedIn, we underestimate that part, whereby we just do it for the sake of doing it. People have gotten positions. I want to give you a little anecdote about a lady called Mercy. She was in the verge of losing hope a month ago, and then now we worked with her. We talked. I revamped her CV. Then we took her through and maybe various session on data analytics. This was someone who has bachelor's degrees in physical something. She had nothing to do with how do I call it? She had nothing to do with data analytics. Then when she created a profile on LinkedIn, just just 3 weeks, people are already reaching out to her. Can you train me on how to use this? I can see clearly understand this topic. As we speak today, she reached out to me this evening to tell me that she just landed a job from a stranger on LinkedIn based on how she was profiling herself. And Mass is just but one of them. I do have several. So the way you show up on that platform, I've never met I've never met Elvis, but I used to see him. I see him on LinkedIn, I see him on TikTok, I see him on Facebook. And recently, he was voted as the second best content creator in Kenya, like I think a few weeks ago, and he's been showing up, building on his potential. So if you're in this particular platform, stop relying on the legacy way of applying for these job opportunities, whereby you just need to send thousands and thousands of applications. Real positions are being filled on the LinkedIn. You don't have to invest in a website, especially if you are not like, let me say, LinkedIn on itself is a website. If you have the resources, if you have the powers, you can create one. But LinkedIn, you'll show up every day. And whenever you type something on that platform, one question you should ask yourself, what do I want the person reading this post to pass? How do I want he or she to perceive me? That one will create your personal brand. I've worked on my brand for, I think, the past 3 years to be precise. Right now, I'm approaching around 150 followers. I don't send any connections. I don't ask people to follow me, but I create valuable content. I think that would be a topic for another day, but I just wanted to reiterate for those people who are looking for remote opportunities, use LinkedIn vibrantly. Don't just go there as a silent viewer. Silent viewing, I think I want to quote what Elvis said prior, that sometimes being broke will awaken the giant that you think you don't have. So use that particular platform and it will work to your advantage. Um, I've seen during my time of coaching people have been asking me, what are some of the three actionable steps someone can take in the next 30 days to building a remote ready skill set? So I think I'm gonna throw that question. I won't answer it today, Elvis. It's gonna be your question, sorry. So maybe you can help me help our audience here. In the next 30 days, what is some action step that someone can take to build a ready skill for the environment?
Well, thank you for that question, Kelvin. Uh, Step number one is you pick a skill. Step number two is you take a short course. Step number three is you build a portfolio and you start pitching. Step number one, you pick a skill that is worthy of you pursuing. Number two is you take a course, or you can actually even go ahead and take crash courses on YouTube. Yeah. If, for example, you decide you want to learn digital marketing, go to YouTube, understand what digital marketing entails, find your niche, carve your niche, find what is it that you're interested in. Take courses online, at least for a period of 2 weeks. Number two is you really need to practice on a daily basis. As you're learning, practice. Because practicing, most people don't understand that it's with practice that you actually get to achieve mastery. There is a there's a saying, I think, from Bruce Lee that says that fear the man who has practiced one move 10,000 times as compared to someone who's practiced 10,000 moves one time each. If you're able to do something consistently, like if you can take something like one time and master it properly, you become a guru in it. I like to use this example when I'm trying to teach guys how to maybe some of these skills. Like, if I woke you up at 2 a.m. in the morning, can you wake up and do that website? If I came to you in church and told you, hey, boss, here's a laptop, start creating the website, can you do that? Achieve mastery. Number three is you need to build a portfolio. 2 to 3 samples of the work that you can do. It's not about talking too much. Too much talk with no actions is just, let me say, it's just something that is dead anyway. You need to have something that showcases that you're a serious individual. By serious individual, I mean that you have work that goes ahead to talk about what you do. And then you need to be teaching. Like, you don't have to wait for you to achieve 100% mastery. 60% is good enough. Perfection is something that you will never achieve. You will never achieve perfection. In fact, perfection lies to you that good is bad. Focus on good. Start pitching. DM people on LinkedIn, send emails to people, go and check out existing projects. Like, for example, if you learn video editing, go to LinkedIn, go to TikTok, go to Instagram, scout your potential clients. I'm going to give you something today. Today I was moving all the way to Westlands, and I saw this massive billboard by a company called SES Performance. So these guys are actually like, they're good guys when it comes to the servicing and maintenance of high performance vehicles. I happen to be someone who really likes vehicles, so I saw this billboard along. Is it which road is this? Just as a Lower Kabete. I saw this billboard and I was like, yeah, I actually already know who I'm actually going to be pitching my services to. So I went, checked their website, I went, checked their social media profiles, and already we started like working on a proposal and working on something to pitch to these dudes. So when I send my proposal, these guys are going to be like, okay, this guy, first of all, social media is there to back me up. Number two, I have proof. Proof is the projects that I've actually worked on. So you see, it's easy for you to get a client that is even going to give you like a good job and a good salary by you just knowing how to pitch your services and having the necessary proof. But the most important thing is mastery. You cannot go to preach, yet you don't even understand the Bible, you don't even understand your sermon. So, first of all, focus on that. Number one, pick a skill. Number two, focus on learning that particular skill and focus on practicing it. Number three is build a portfolio or build something that showcases the various projects that you've worked on, and then pitch your services to clients, businesses, organizations, corporations, any person.
Thank you. I think just to build on what you've said, sometimes it's good to learn something. If you see Elvis is doing good, don't say, I want to learn the same skills that Elvis has learned that is making him perform best in that particular maybe industry. Identify your passion, identify your potential, and then build on those specific skills. So Elvis, what are some of the certification or platforms would you recommend to learn these short skills apart from the University of YouTube?
I think for me, what works is Udemy. Udemy. I recommend that. I don't like telling people so many things. I like to tell them Udemy. Udemy, first of all, is going to give you practical, top-notch, skill-based content. Yeah. It allows you to learn from top-tier professionals. It allows you to learn practically. Udemy is the best platform there ever can be. And I think people will need it also, in as much as you're pursuing a certificate, you have to understand that your certificate is going to actually get you through the door, but your skills are actually going to determine whether you stay inside or you get kicked out. Because so many people get to the door with papers, but they cannot be able to stay inside because you just don't know how to do something. So companies and businesses don't want to waste time training you. So they would rather go and get someone who is already refined in as much as they have the certifications. Udemy is the best platform according to me. Go get yourself a course there. Good thing is that most of these courses are actually very user friendly. Like, you realize that the information you get on Udemy is top notch industry standard information that you can actually get to use. If you want to master video editing, there's a video for that over there. If you want to start anything, if you won't even want to start career coaching, there are courses over there. So Udemy is the platform for me.
Thank you. You can also utilize LinkedIn Learning and Allison, but I would also recommend Udemy. Someone is asking, on Udemy, payment is done using PayPal account. How can someone create a PayPal account? Creating a PayPal is ABCD. Just go to the PayPal platform, follow the procedures, click create account, and then now follow the procedure. That one does not involve science. Based on that, now get to learn these particular skills, especially the ones that we mentioned in terms of project management, in terms of data analytics, in terms of AI automation. Just like Elvis has mentioned, there's a session coming up that is just shared a few minutes ago. Invest in these particular sessions. One time when I was looking for a job, I didn't have the opportunity, and I used to have the victim's mentality. I don't have a job, so I cannot invest maybe in these particular skills. Today, whatever you've learned here can take you like quite a number of maybe an amount to gain these particular skills. So if you get maybe these low hanging fruits where you can get to learn automation, because automation is key. Artificial intelligence is taking people's jobs, but it's only taking the people's jobs who are not willing to do whatever it takes to challenge these things. Elvis has talked about prompts. You need to learn these prompts. The tools are key, the tools keep on coming, and these tools cannot operate in isolation. They need someone to help them run. So get to learn those particular skills. Get to revamp your LinkedIn profile. Get to work on the CV. Get to build that personal brand, not only for not only for the remote jobs, but also for consulting and freelancing purposes. So these are some of the things that we do. And maybe let me take this opportunity to also share that next month I'll be launching a remote job website that also contains sections where you can learn their must-have skills. So right now we are building the website. I think March 15th, the website will be up and running. And then now you can also utilize that particular opportunity to get skills from the website. There are some underrated skills that most people underrate, and the employers value these skills. Elvis, what are these soft skills that you can say they are most underrated, but they are valuable to the employers?
Wow, it's a nice question. I think skill number one is emotional intelligence. It's not talked about a lot. Emotional intelligence. People don't know how to manage their emotions. Yeah. I think you've seen it where people are not able to control their ranting when probably you're pissed. Employers are actually even much more attracted to someone who can control their emotions. Like, I'm not saying that it's up to, and I think this works on both sides, emotional intelligence on the employer and emotional intelligence on the employee. Now, you are an employee, you're someone who actually looking for a job. You need to understand how to manage your emotions. Not every single client that you meet your way is going to be a good person. I have dealt with clients who are very rude. Hey, boss, why is it taking so long? The thing you do is you don't get into an alteration with the person. In fact, most employers will be shocked when they realize that, they're the only ones who are shouting and ranting. They shout and then you
Elvis,
react. Yes.
let me pause you a bit. When you talk of emotional intelligence, what exactly do you mean? Because I'm very sure there are people following us and maybe we are not on the same page here. So when you talk of emotional intelligence, can you kindly elaborate? Let me assume I don't know what you're talking about.
Actually, let me get you a definition on the same. On definition of emotional intelligence, because I don't want to probably divulge and discuss something different. Now, let me use this definition, a very simple definition. It is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence your own emotions and the emotions of others. The ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence your own emotions and the emotions of others. In fact, I think if most relationships would have emotional intelligence, in them, we would not have a lot of issues with relationships today. Because the reason as to why most marriages fail is, first of all, two people are not able to control their emotions. When this one goes high, the other one goes high. So there is no equality over there. Now, in a very simple manner, emotional intelligence is something like this: knowing how you feel and why. Why are you angry? Why are you pissed? Now, this is something people don't like about Gen Zs. Most Gen Zs are actually so emotionally aware that they will talk it out. Like I always tell people, like if you know your husband or your wife is making you angry, you tell them directly. But most people don't. They just say that ni sawa tu. Like if you feel something, recognize it and understand why are you feeling like that. Number two is reading the room, is sensing what others feel without them saying it. Like if you went into a room and you realized that everyone is just like restless when you're speaking, then it's time for you to stop speaking. You need to be able to understand what other people feel about you. Number three is managing your reactions in difficult situations. Yeah. Emotional intelligence applies like this: you have a child who is bothering you. Instead of slapping them to damnation, you calm down, you relax, and you don't react. In fact, you actually be solving the problem. I think it would be something like this: you have your angry wife. Instead of you ranting and shouting at them and saying, "What is your problem? Nini mbaya na wewe?" You relax and you tell them, "Have a seat. Tell me what the problem is." Immediately, you've solved like 75% of that issue because this person has realized, hey, guy, this person is not like reacting the way I'm reacting. Same case with a client. Emotional intelligence also involves you communicating effectively, even during a conflict. Now, when you have a conflict, biologically and theoretically, how we are actually put is when you're having a disagreement with someone, you want to also insult. But instead of taking the aspect of using vulgar language, you decide to communicate. Understanding your emotions and understanding the emotions of the other person is about you communicating effectively about how you feel and understanding how they feel. That is the first way to actually getting to solve a problem. Finally, is showing empathy. Empathy. People are not able to show empathy. Yeah? You get? People are so used to that. You don't want to show empathy. And this is something I also struggle with. I'm also in the process of learning my EI, that is emotional intelligence, because at the end of the day, I tend to believe that every single person needs to be understanding emotional intelligence. Now, this is a document I had before. I'm just going to say this very fast. Now, there are 5 core components of emotional intelligence. And if you just went online and studied, there's a guy called Daniel Goleman. The first one is self awareness, that is knowing your emotions, triggers, and your patterns. When you understand, you're aware, like, hey, by the way, this one can really make me angry. So you will communicate before. You will be like, hey, please, just, you don't want to see me blowing up like Hiroshima and Nagasaki over here. Number 2 is self regulation, where you talk about managing your emotions instead of letting them control you. Managing your emotions instead of letting them control you. Number 3 is motivation. Motivation, being driven by inner values rather than external rewards. You want to shout, like you might say, I want to shout ili watu wajue pia mimi naweza tusiana. Watanijua leo. These guys will know me. Kwani who do they think? There is no reward for that. In fact, the more grounded you are, the more relaxed and calm you are, the more you surprise your opponent. Because you're going to be like, who is this person? You already have planted something in this person, like, hey, they're not shouting like me. Number 4 is empathy, that is understanding and caring about other people's emotions. And finally, number 5 is social skills, where you navigate relationships, resolve conflicts, and inspire others. Those are just some of the 5 common components that are actually just outlined by Daniel Goleman. So that is emotional intelligence. I hope I've defined it well.
Thank you. The reason I wanted you to bring that aspect, you realize at our workplaces, sometimes we tolerate nonsense and stupidity, whereby you see your boss is doing the thing which is not right. But for fear of losing your job, you'll choose to keep quiet. Sometimes you see a colleague doing something that might jeopardize your work experience. But because they are the people who influence maybe decision in that particular organization, you choose to keep quiet. So whatever else is, and that is why I was asking him to explain that so that at least you know how you can utilize the same even at workplaces. I've seen people get misused in their places of work. What do I mean by this? You might think that people love you, but people are using you for the wrong reason. So having that, the emotional intelligence, it will give you to study the room and know, these guys are intentional with whatever they're doing. So emotional intelligence is the first key thing. You can apply it at your home, you can apply it at your workplace, you can apply it when you're looking for these specific jobs. So I think that is also the second thing that you are going to learn in this webinar today. And maybe after this, go put in more effort just to get to know how can you improve on your emotional intelligence, better your future. I think you can proceed. I did cut you short because I thought that was a very important point that needed a little bit of elaboration.
Oh, okay. That was emotional intelligence. Number two is communication skills. People don't know how to communicate. I'm personally someone who struggled with communication. A client in a place like the United States of America is going to be having very, very good English. So if you can't meet that standard, it's going to be a problem for you. You might be dealing with a Swahili client. How do you communicate with them? And then people also need to understand that written communication is practiced. You just don't think that you're a good writer. One day, like I'm honestly telling you some of the things I've actually experienced with people. Anytime like I'm dealing with guys, like normally we've had some private boot camps over time. It's now that we actually just want to bring them out in the public face on LinkedIn. Anytime I meet guys, I always tell them, open up Google Keep on your computer and write something that you're grateful about today. And I'm telling you, people don't know how to write. You excelled and passed your exams, but you can't write properly. Then, how do you speak? You can make sure that you're not 40 years old and you cannot sit down and communicate effectively. If you look at people on LinkedIn, there are so many people who talk about communication skills. They are very important. One of the reasons I've actually been able to build a good brand is because I'm able to communicate. Communication is about not boring the person you're communicating to and not saying a lot of nothing that sounds like nonsense. Because the same thing we have with Kenyan politicians. They always like to say a lot of things, but they don't communicate. They speak, 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 and sputter and then end without saying a single thing that you understand. So, how is communication? Communication is very, very simple. Keep it, I don't know, there's a framework called KISS. All right. Let me say,
Keep it
keep
simple.
it, keep it super simple. All right. Stop, like Kelvin has communicated to me and told me he needs a website. My response should be, yes, Kelvin, we can do a website for you. But now when I start writing down emails, I don't know, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm so pleased. That doesn't matter. Communication is very, very simple. Yeah. Skill number two is adaptability. Right now we have AI. And I'm honestly going to tell you by 2030, if you'll not have adapted to AI, I'm sorry, but you're going to be out of the job. You're probably going to be selling some. I'm sorry, let me not continue with that. I'm just saying you need to understand how to adapt to developments. If by 2028 you realize that blockchain is a new thing, get into it. Adaptability. You find that people getting promoted in work, they're not getting promoted because they know someone nowadays. People are being promoted nowadays because of their abilities and what they have actually learned outside the job. Adaptability. Another thing is time management. There's a difference between arriving at your workplace at 7:30 and arriving at 9:30 and starting your work immediately. Someone arrives at 7:30, spends 3 hours gossiping, and then starts work at 11:30. Someone arrives at 9:30, becomes very productive and manages their time effectively, and by 1:30 they're done with their tasks for the day. Time management. Another skill that I think people need to understand is problem solving. Businesses exist today because they solve problems. So if you can't solve a problem, we don't need you. No one needs you. So if your job is just signing papers, you're not solving any problem. What can you solve as a problem in my company, in my business? I'm probably having a problem with data. How can you come in, scrape all the data, analyze it, and give us realistic, information from that data that you've analyzed? So those are some of the skills I tend to think. And finally, I also think people have to understand something we refer to as self-leadership, discipline. Self-leadership, you can lead yourself. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead other people. That's one thing people have to understand. Self-leadership and then discipline. People don't have discipline. You have to be way to be told how to do something. And go, you go that way, that direction. Discipline. Drive yourself. Yeah.
Just to add on communication, there's the art of storytelling. And this is a must have for every job seeker. I've had two instances this month, and there's a lady who I helped secure opportunities with Flying Emirates. So she went to Dubai, and then undertook the interview. But when she was asked, tell me about yourself, the lady froze and she couldn't tell a word. This is something that we had practiced, and I told her how to go about it. But then she crammed the document that I gave to her. So when she was asked, can you tell us something interesting about herself? And then we were having a conversation. They did ask me, tell me about yourself. They asked me, can you tell me something interesting about yourself? So she could not answer that question. And I've seen it with people, especially when it comes to the interview, when you ask that question, because it's a very powerful question. And this is a self pitch that you should practice as often as possible. So when you have communication skills, you need to master your storytelling skills. What aspect do I need to share in this specific case? I have seen during interviews, we always have one specific way of introducing ourselves. For example, we have my name is Kelvin Waga. I'm a graduate of Maseno University and University of Nairobi. I studied Bachelor's of Communication and Media Technology. Over the years, I've worked with company A, then I went to company C, then I went to company D, then I went to company F. And on top of that, I have these specific skills. And this is why I think I'm important. Like, this is why I think I need this job. Or in this company, I did A, B, C, D. In the other company, I did A, B, C, D. You remember when you master how to communicate, you learn how to tailor make your introduction depending on the job that you're interviewing for. I have seen your CV. I have seen the schools you attended. I have seen your CV. I've seen the jobs, places you've worked. The only thing I've called you to for an interview to let me know is what can you do for us? What are the qualifications you have? So once you master the art of storytelling, both verbally and written, that is something that will work to your advantage. And then incorporate the II that we've just mentioned. Get to read your surrounding. And then when you are asked questions, you will learn how to easily do that. And then your problem solving skills. These skills, the ones that Elvis has mentioned, I think I don't need to add anything. These are the most underrated skills by most of us when it comes to this. We want to be seen as professional. I'm financial analyst. I'm data protection specialist. I'm human resource, maybe something like that. But then we neglect this soft skill because it is the soft skills that will land you that remote job that you're looking for. Remember, these people are not that they're not going to have an opportunity to have a one-on-one with you. And this is a very competitive world. And then now you need to invest whatever it takes to land those specific jobs. So how do you stay updated, Elvis? And how do you stay updated and competitive in such a fast changing digital landscape?
All right. I think one of the things is learning daily. Daily education is very, very important. Daily education is very, very important. Uh, when I say learning daily is the aspect of you being able to like sit down and learn something consistently over a period of time. And this actually starts with appearance. Is someone over here amefungua video yake? I think you need to tell them.
Christine, we can see you in the background. We are supporting you. Elvis, you can proceed.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying first thing is you need to learn daily. Learning daily is having 20 to 30 minutes per day where you can sit down and learn something. Calvin, you can believe me that so many people can't sit down and learn something by themselves. Not so many people have the ability to sit down and learn something by themselves. That's how you stay competitive. And learning doesn't have to be you taking a class. Funny thing is, if you go to YouTube nowadays, you're finding that the majority nowadays, a lot of content being published on YouTube is documentaries, tutorials, crash courses, not even music, not even the lifestyle kind of content. So you can always get educated in any manner. Yeah. Like you can go and watch a documentary about cybersecurity and you hear those guys mentioning something and you're like, oh, what is penetration testing? Well, let me try this thing. All of a sudden, you've learned something new. You've stayed ahead. Number two is joining communities. Communities means that you need to be on LinkedIn, you need to be on social media, getting to be with other people and seeing what they actually do. Right? I tell people all the time, join WhatsApp communities, join, I don't want to say Telegram. Telegram nowadays is a little bit flawed, but there's something most Kenyans have not really gotten to master. There's something called Discord. You can join Discord servers where you can learn a lot of things, literally. So, according to me, I think you need to join communities. These communities allow you to get to understand the newest things. They allow you to understand what people are actually studying, what people are actually learning, and the things that you need to do to stay ahead. Yeah. Then join webinars, like such webinars, or even host them. Yeah. Like you will host a webinar and someone is going to come and write something in the chat section, and you're going to be like, wow, that's a nice thing, by the way. You stay ahead like that. And then the more you have such webinars and the more you have you join these webinars or even you just organize them yourself, the more you're able to build a peer support group or people who actually think and people who can relate with what you do. So you will always, like, for example, you can finish the webinar and you're going to be like, hey, Christine, by the way, what do you do? And then she tells you this, and this. So that's how you can actually get to stay ahead. And then I think you need to create content consistently. Content allows you to collect data. You see, content is data. Yeah. Someone is going to write something in the comment section and you're going to go and research and be like, oh, okay. In fact, I learned about image generation using AI when I was hosting my classes on how to use AI. So that's when I stumbled upon this idea and I was like, what if I taught people how to generate images using AI? And I had to I tried that thing for like 3 hours to get it to perfection. And yeah, that's how it actually got started. Now I was able to get started. So those are just a few pointers.
Oh, that's great. I think nothing
Yes.
needs to be added. I start my day at 4 o'clock in the morning, each morning, except on Sunday. And I take the first 30 minutes. If you've seen pictures of my office, I have a library. Even at home, I used to have a library. Sometimes I dedicate myself to reading 30 or 20 pages of a book, each book daily. And then maybe after that, another 15 minutes, just getting to learn something new. And this is what has contributed to my growth over. I'm not saying you start your day at 4 o'clock. If you're an evening person, you can utilize that. If you are an early riser, you can do that. But still, spare each time. As you scroll on LinkedIn, you see, when the way whatever you feed your dopamine is whatever it will give you. Sometimes I get people telling me that it is very difficult for me to learn something, but you can stay on a TikTok page for close to 5 hours without getting bored. If you can transform that energy and just spare 30 minutes each day or even 15 minutes each day, either watch an educative podcast, read a book, but just get to learn on this. I've been struggling with communications ever since, but each day I keep on perfecting these skills. And this is some of the ways that you can stay updated for these particular webinars. So I hope we are learning something new, and maybe just a request for people who are here. Maybe you can spare a second after this session. Just go share in the comment section on my LinkedIn post of what you've come out. You can also tag Elvis for the good job that he's done. And we are going to organize such webinars with Elvis and like-minded people. Right now, he's mentioned to us that he has is it a 3-day Elvis? A three
Yes.
day session where he'll be teaching you about AIs. You can join that. We are going to organize now the premium version, whereby we can go through this step by step to help you perfect your job learning skills. And maybe my last question to Elvis before I open the mic to the floor. And yes, I'm going to share the recording, but you can also rewatch the whole thing on my LinkedIn page and my YouTube page, Coach Kelvin Waga. So Elvis, if you could give your younger self one, please kindly mute your mic. I don't know who is that. Martin. Martin, kindly mute your mic. Okay, thank you. Elvis, if you could give your younger self one tip about succeeding in remote world, what would that be?
Um, I think I would say the first thing is you need to build an online profile. You have the skills, you have the abilities, but you are not visible. And visibility is not going to get you the clients. Lack of visibility is not going to get you clients. If you're invisible and you're a very good person, like I find so many people who are even better than me in digital marketing, but the biggest problem they have is that they are not visible. Visibility is an incentive towards you getting clients who might pay for the services you provide. And for me, I think that visibility is the most important thing that you need to focus on. So, one tip for my younger self: start building your online presence early. Don't wait to feel ready. Just show up, speak up, and skill up. That is what I would actually say. But the most important thing is visibility through personal branding. Get known. As you get known, learn more skills, show up, and sell what you can do.
Oh, that's amazing. My final parting shot before I open the mic to the floor is you've spent your 1 hour, 30 minutes listening through. If there's one thing you've come out with from this, go practice. Even if it is generating images via prepic, go do it. If it is practicing your emotional intelligence, go do it. And I've started a program whereby I'm working with job seekers for 90 days, helping them navigate the remote that experience. This is now from reviewing the CVs, revamping if need be, optimizing your LinkedIn, and sharing these strategies. If you'd like to work with me, you can reach out on the social media page. We also have a WhatsApp group, or you can reach our office number through 0710 for those people who don't have the office number, 0710 35 93 26. I'll pin it somewhere in the comment section. So we are working with candidates, just highlighting them. Last week we had Udoni Njoroge. This week we have Elvis. Next week we'll have someone else. This is just to ensure that we package you with whatever is required for you to excel in freelance work and remote work opportunities. So I'm gonna open a mic for the next, maybe I'm gonna take 4 questions from people, and then we are going to tackle those questions. But before I do that, I would give Elvis a chance to give us more details on his upcoming training, and if we need to sign up, how do we go about it?
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. So maybe I can try and share my screen. Yeah. So we currently have a link over here. I think I can try and share the link with you guys. I can actually just share it in the comment section. So it's an AI weekend productivity sprint that we will be learning how to use AI tools. We're going to be talking about ChatGPT, Notion, Freepik, Opus. We'll also be talking about Canva, Perplexity, Fireflies, and Mixo. These are common AI tools. I'll be showing you how to use them like on your daily basis, like how to use AI tools to create social media posts, how you can use AI tools to generate summaries of meetings, how you can use AI tools to even generate images, like as what we have tackled before. So this particular link, you just click on join the sprint over here. The charges are $28.50. You input your name, M-Pesa number, and WhatsApp number. And the moment you click on proceed with payment, you will just receive an STK push. Afterwards, you're going to receive a link immediately into your WhatsApp. Yeah. So you're going to receive a link sent immediately to your WhatsApp, and uh, one of my assistants is actually going to approve it on my end. So it's that easy. It's just understanding how to you can actually use AI tools better, how you can even get to be more productive with these AI tools. I tend to believe it's the high time we start talking about AI and how to achieve more productivity with it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So that is it. Elvis, now it's time for Q&As. Someone is asking, does Udemy courses are seasonal? Like there's specific time and periods that they can only be accessible, or does they have really convoluted at some moments? I'm struggling to understand. That is from Joseph Kutei.
I think when you buy a Udemy course, you can access it for the rest of your life. You buy it once and yeah.
Okay. Oh, and the
It's
name
not.
is, sorry, you proceed?
You can you can really be able to, like, when you purchase a Udemy course, it's a one-time lifetime purchase. So you don't have to do like monthly subscriptions or something like that. It's a one-time purchase. You can access it for the rest of your life.
Okay. Any other question someone had asked? Uh, uh, Hello, Elvis. That one has been answered. That one has been answered. So I'm opening the mic. You can raise your hand and ask your question. Okay, who is gonna go first? Opportunities like this is what opens doors. I don't know, Joseph. Okay, I think Joseph is clapping. Anyone with a question? I'm trying to access some on LinkedIn. The session is live on LinkedIn. Oh, Elvis, there's a question. How do you see the future of freelancing and AI? Because I see a day where people will be tired, where people will be tired of the fake life and interested in original. What is the future of freelancing?
I didn't get that question. That's an interesting question, by the way. Where is that question?
It's on LinkedIn. How
Mm.
do you see? I think you can drop your screen, I'll share mine.
Oh,
How do you see the future of freelancing and AI? Because I see the day where people will be tired of the fake life and interested in original. What is the future of freelancing?
I think already one of the things people have to understand is that authenticity is everything people want to buy. Like, even when it comes to you becoming a freelancer, I personally believe that if you continue promoting a fake life and you continue promoting something that is not true, something that is dishonest, it is going to be very hard for people to get to work with you. Reason is people value authenticity. Authenticity makes you someone who can be trusted. It makes you someone who knows, like, you know what you're doing. And I'm trying to get the concept behind that question. How do you see the future of freelancing and AI? Because I see a day where people will be tired. I think it was tired of the fake life and interested on the original. What
It
is the
is
future of
right.
freelance?
Uh-huh.
Will be tired of the fake life and interested to original. What is the future of freelancing? I think the
I
future of
think he
freelancing,
meant tired. Uh-huh.
yeah. People, in freelancing, you realize that so many people want to fake it. They want to showcase how good of a life they're living. They want to showcase the best aesthetics they have from their houses, the best aesthetics they have from all this. But I think what sets you apart is you as a person, how authentic you are. Apart from being authentic, I also think it's about how good you are. Like, okay, generally, how good you are with your content. Because I tend to see so many people, and they just post on LinkedIn to get validation. So many people do that. Yeah. A lot of people like on LinkedIn, they're doing it for validation. They just want to post it so that people can actually get to see and think and praise these people. And honestly, that era where people are tired of, everyone always posting, oh, seeking validation, I just completed this job. People are really tired of that. And that's why like I decided to change my content and said, how about I start talking about my failures? How about I start talking about the things I have done as a freelancer that were mistakes? And people get to relate with you because they're like, hey, dude, that's a thing I can relate with. The praise, like LinkedIn, look at LinkedIn posts of so many people, and you realize that most of them, it is always positive, never negative. Positive, 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 positive. They won, they did, I did, I won, I excelled. But at the end of the day, people are really tired. How are you? You must be a very perfect human being if you're always getting this. And you see, even me, I wouldn't trust you because, first of all, you see, these people who always portray a certain perfection syndrome in social media, if you give them a job, they deliver poorly. I'll honestly tell you that. They deliver poorly. Reason is they didn't post to get the job, they posted it to seek validation and make people think and believe that these people are good at something. At the end of the day, this person delivered something that is completely shoddy, something that doesn't work. I think for me, authenticity is key. Being an authentic person on social media and even being an authentic freelancer is going to get you more gigs. I really hope I've answered your question the right way, but I hope you get the message.
Thank you. I think to answer Deborah, kindly share the perfect. Joseph, I saw your answer up. I'm giving you a chance. Don't worry. Kindly share the perfect way to introduce myself in an interview. I want you to pick these three things. What do they want? That is, you've done your due diligence, you've gone through the job advert, you've seen what they are looking for. So in that case, what you need to do is show your perfection. What are the skill sets that you have? What is your competitive advantage? And how well would you fit in that particular organization? Don't sound as someone who is being catered by someone else and they keep on talking about their exes. In my previous role, yes, they can see that data. So they are more interested in what can you show. So talk about your experience span, areas of experience, your key contributions. If you have achievement, you can key them there related to the job that you're interviewing for. And then maybe you can brush through your academic qualification. You don't need to tell us the primary school you attended, the secondary school you attended. You can talk about your qualifications in general. Elvis, do you post these trainings in your YouTube channel?
No, most of them are actually available in my LMS. So unless it's a free session, I normally post it on YouTube. But when I do the premium classes, I have them all in a learning management system.
Okay, Elvis and Wanga. Oh, it's Waga, sorry. Elvis and Waga, nice sharing today. I've learned a lot. AI, not easy, but continuing learning. Kindly asking if Elvis can give me an opportunity at his webinar on AI. I would be glad. He's shared the details. I'll also share the details on the post I'll do on my session on how you can access that one. Hello, Elvis. Thank you, Kelvin. Get how to use AI to create website. Do I need to get a website course? If so, when can you give this course and when is AI course? Peter, okay, I think he's spoken French. The details is provided. You can follow Elvis on his socials. I think you'll find those details. Joseph Kutei, you can ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Elvis and Calvin. Thank you, first of all, for organizing this pursuit educative sessions. I have a question here. I don't know whether a question, but maybe a point of query. Uh, for me personally, I've tried to follow the YouTube tutorials, trying to design a website, and I usually design them, but the challenge comes when making it live on the internet. So I have a question there. How can I make it live on the internet? Yeah, thank you.
To make a website live on the internet.
I didn't quite get the
Yeah,
question well. Can
certified
you
in the
repeat
internet
it
because
again?
Are you coding the website or are you
okay,
using a content management system?
can I repeat it?
Are you coding the website or are you using a content management system?
I'm using the WordPress.
Or if you're using WordPress, then you just, if you want your website live, you just get a domain and then you get hosting and you create your website. It's quite easy. You just need to install WordPress into the domain and your website can be live.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, then when it comes to getting a domain, do I have to purchase the URL or the HTTP? Which is the
No, you
best
have to.
when using it to make
I think, Joseph, I'm really going to be very honest with you first. I tend to think you need to, first of all, get the fundamentals of web design, personally. And you see, I think you didn't first stand with the fundamentals. You didn't start with the fundamentals. You need to, first of all, understand a website structure, what is composed of, what it actually means when it comes to creating a website, what is needed, and all those things. Because when you say something about URL and it seems that you're not understanding the whole thing. My recommendation is this: go deep down, use ChatGPT, and understand what you need for a website first. Because for a website, you need a domain and you need hosting. The domain name is the name of your website. The hosting is a housing structure for that particular domain name and the data and the information in it. So get to first understand that before you proceed on to buy hosting or even a domain from a platform like Hostinger. That's what I would tell you.
Thank you for that, Ian. You can
Hello,
speak, yes.
hello, Coach Kelvin and Mr. Elvis Gitao. So today's session was good. I've liked the session how it was conducted by Elvis sharing on the important things about digital skills. So my question goes to I think Elvis. Maybe he can help me. So, I've been trying to post so let's say some the post that I usually post on my social media accounts. I want it to reflect maybe if I can post on Instagram, it can reflect it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all my social media accounts. How can I go about it kindly?
You probably might need to use a social media management tool like Buffer.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. There is someone asking, I think maybe one request, Ian, you can drop your hand. There's someone asking, as a freelancer, is it a must to join Upwork for opportunities? I'll give Elvis that one to answer too. But there's a request I have. You see, these sessions are for free, and they are not free because we've spent the time aspect, the money aspect. The only way you can give back is by sharing. The more you comment, I'm gonna request maybe you can leave a comment on the LinkedIn post that I've done. This way, at least LinkedIn will be sharing these opportunities like my profile to so many people. I think that is the only thing I'm asking from you. And also you can get to subscribe to webinars such as the premium that Elvis is sharing. Today, it might be 28 something. The next time you look at it, it will be 10,000 and something. So Carpe diem, seize the moment. At least you can take the question.
Upwork. I don't think you always have to be on Upwork. Upwork is something we refer to as shamba la mawe. Yeah. It's very hard for you to be in such a place, but you can maneuver. That's one thing. But honestly, I think nowadays freelancing is much easier. Have a website, craft a very good website. I'm going to introduce you to something because most people don't understand freelancing properly. There's a tool called Bonsai. If after this particular session, go search something called Bonsai. If you're a freelancer, Bonsai allows you to create invoices, create contracts, create proposals, create quotations, and send them to clients. So you don't really have to be on Upwork. You can even go and search, like for example,
Elvis,
yes,
do you mind sharing your screen on that? Just a quick
or
brush.
Bonsai. Let me get it to you.
You know, some of us English ilikuja na meli. We might try
Okay.
Bouncer.
Yeah, Bonsai. I think most guys need to understand how to use some of these tools. Like Bonsai is a tool that you can use to, like, when you're working with clients. Let me get one of the projects. Like, for example, let's say you're working on a client. It's a web design client. You can do so many things with this particular platform. You can create invoices, you can create contracts, you can create so many things with it. You can create invoices, you can create timesheets, you can assign tasks to team members. It's a very easy thing. For me, I think you don't need Upwork. You need your personal website, very good marketing skills, very good content creation skills, and very good personal branding and storytelling skills. That is going to position you in a way that people can contact you and seek your services. You don't have to rely on external platforms. Do you sit down and think, what if these external platforms actually shut down one day? What will happen to you? So my recommendation is you don't have to rely on them. Rely on your own expertise. Rely on yourself as a platform. Use such tools like Bonsai to manage your clients and be able to build your own business from scratch, brick by brick. That is my personal recommendation. So you don't always have to be on Upwork.
I think there's Harriet Getty, the question was already answered. What are some of the digital tools what digital tool should every remote worker know? Elvis,
Number
do you
one
want
is
to touch on that?
Yes. Number one is ChatGPT. Number two is Notion. Number three is ClickUp. Number four is Google Meet or Zoom. Number five is Canva. Yeah. I can go on.
And the
CapCut.
collaborative tools, collaboration
Yes,
tools, and also the communication tools.
exactly. You need to understand Google Workspace, Google Meet, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. You need to understand all those tools. You also need to understand how to use accounting and invoicing software. In Kenya, we have one called Zoho. Understand how to use it. These are very good tools. Instead of using Microsoft Office Word to create invoices, you can use Zoho. Understand how to use tools like Bonsai. Bonsai allows you to do invoices, contracts for clients. Yeah. And in fact, if you're a freelancer in 2025, always work with a contract. A contract that can be renewed, a contract that someone has to follow specifically. That's it.
So, guys, this was an amazing session. From a lady and a gentleman, what is your feedback? Just hear sauti ya mwanamke. Sorry for our international audience. That is a little bit of French words. Lois, I think I'm going to give, is Christine still in? Christine, how's the experience?
Hi.
Hi.
I've become famous in this platform.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sorry about the background noise. I want to thank Elvis for the insights he has shared with us. I've realized that I've been doing making a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to make amends, especially on my LinkedIn profile. Thank you.
Thank you. We revamp LinkedIn's in case you have, you can invest in professional like us, being that this is my webinar. I think I can flex my muscles a little bit. Evans?
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. And I saw this opportunity and I said I have to run away with it. Elvis, thank you very much for the work that you do. You're doing an amazing job. Am I still there?
Yes, yes.
All right. Yeah. So I was saying, Elvis, you're doing a good job, an amazing work. Keep doing it. Personally, I'm an accountant, but I never miss what you do. I actually joined Telegram because of the post that I saw, and I've been learning a lot and keep doing what you do. Coach, I also follow you. Keep doing what you do. I have been in contact at some point, and I know you'll pick it up. So God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're also a blessing to all of us. I appreciate it.
Elvis, how can someone access your classes?
How can someone access my classes? I'll give you a number. It's actually let me just share it on the chat. But for anyone who is interested in all the classes that we get to offer, we currently haven't really automated our system yet. So we are doing manual enrollment at the moment. But I'll share the link to the WhatsApp for anyone who is interested in those classes. Let me just share it in the chat section. As well, if you just throw me a message over there, someone is going to get back to you. But yeah, we have all the recorded classes. We have digital marketing, we have web design, we have graphic design, we have Canva, AI productivity. Yeah. And I can also share the link to pay for the AI classes. I'll just throw it over there. But in any case, if you have an inquiry, just throw me a message on WhatsApp. Yes.
Thank you guys so much. I know you want us to stay and stay and stay. I have another session starting at 10 p.m. and on Elvis has also some engagement. Elvis, thank you so much for coming. I'm receiving a lot of inboxes, people asking me to call you again. We are going to collaborate with Elvis in helping you learn all these things. So the next time it might come as a premium session. Be on the lookout. If you're not following me on LinkedIn, you're missing out. If you're not following Elvis, you're missing out. I am one of the best coaches that is helping job seekers, and I understand the craft of what is required. So work with me, follow me, and we are going to have these amazing webinars. We do host them either on each and every weekend. We do have a session just talking about things related to work and life. I look forward to hosting you in the next session, but please, if you live here, just spare a minute on LinkedIn. Write a comment of what your experience is. And I'm also going to leave my Google profile link. You can write us a review based on what you've just learned today. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you attended. And if you missed this, it's going to be live on my YouTube page tomorrow, but you can also rewatch the same thing on the LinkedIn page. Thank you so much. I'm going to give the last chance to Elvis, then I'll ask a volunteer gentleman to pray for us. Forgive, it's eating a lot of waru from that other section of town. Elvis.
You didn't have to say that.
Yes.
Okay. I think for me, the parting shot is, it is always a good day to learn a skill. Focus on skill acquisition. Focus on you being able to sell. Because if you acquire skills and you can't sell them, there's no need. So it is always a good day for you to learn a skill. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My number is, for people who are asking for my number, it is 0710, and it's the office number. It's 0710 35 93 26. 0710 35 93 26. You can just go onto my banner there. You'll find the number there, and you can reach out for business and consultation purposes only. John Gunjiri, would you mind ending us with a word of prayer? Oh, sorry, Joseph. Joseph.
Thank you so much, Coach. I've really enjoyed the session, and many congratulations to Elvis for such an amazing tips, and I've gotten to learn a lot. Having said that, let's pray. Dear Lord Almighty, we want to thank you so much tonight that you've given us a platform to learn a lot from Coach Kelvin and Elvis. We want to pray that you may continue equipping them, that they may be in a position to educate many job seekers and even those who want to learn about remote working. May you take care of us tonight and guide us in our endeavors tomorrow and beyond. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you guys so much, and see you next Sunday. I'll communicate our guest on Monday. You can sign up and join. Thank you so much, Elvis. And definitely, you're gonna come back to these sessions over and over. Next time, I'll ask these people to pay you for being there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Do have a lovely night, and see you in the next session.